Have you ever imagined a place where even light cannot escape? A place so powerful that time itself slows down? Sarah and Liam, two young astronomers, stood under a sky full of stars, asking the same question that haunted scientists for centuries. What happens inside a black hole? The night was silent, but their minds were racing. Telescopes pointed toward the edge of the galaxy, capturing a shadow darker than darkness itself. This was not just an object. It was a doorway to the unknown. A black hole, a monster born from a dying star. When a massive star ends its life, its core collapses under its own gravity until it becomes infinitely small and infinitely dense. That's when a black hole is born, pulling everything around it into an endless fall. Even light cannot escape its grip. Sarah whispered, "If light can't escape, how do we even see it?" Liam smiled and said, "We don't. We see the space around it bending, twisting, screaming." Their voices echoed through the observatory as the screen displayed the event horizon, the invisible border where the laws of physics break. Scientists believe that time almost stops at that edge. If you fell into a black hole, you'd never reach the center from your own view. You'd freeze forever in the eyes of an outside observer. But for you, the fall would be instant, into infinity. No one truly knows what lies beyond that horizon, destruction or discovery. Maybe it's the end of everything, or maybe it's the beginning of something greater. Sarah's heart raced as she thought about it. "Are we staring at death or at creation?" she asked. Liam looked at her and said softly, "Maybe both." The thought sent chills down their spines. The black hole wasn't just consuming matter, it was consuming their understanding of reality. This was the universe's most silent secret, waiting to be decoded. As the night deepened, Sarah turned toward the camera streaming their research live and said, "If you believe some mysteries are meant to be explored, not feared, stay with us. Because what we'll reveal next will change the way you see the universe." She smiled, her eyes reflecting both fear and fascination. "Don't forget to subscribe," she whispered, "because the darkness has just begun." Have you ever wondered what really happens when something crosses the edge of a black hole? Sarah and Liam sat quietly inside their observatory, eyes locked on the glowing monitor. The screen showed the image of a galaxy far away, and at its center, a swirling abyss devouring stars. "That's it," whispered Liam. "The event horizon, the edge of no return." Sarah leaned closer. The gravity around the black hole was so strong that light bent like liquid around it. Space stretched, and time twisted. If a spaceship went too close, it would never come back. The edge was invisible but deadly. It wasn't just a border. It was the ultimate point of no escape. Liam explained softly, "If you dropped a clock into it, we'd see it slow down until it stopped completely. But for the clock itself, time would move normally straight into eternity." Sarah stared at him, speechless. The idea that time could behave differently felt like standing on the edge of a dream. She imagined herself falling slowly, her body stretched thin by gravity, atoms torn apart. Yet at the same time, her mind might still be alive, watching the universe fade behind her. "Is that how everything ends?" she asked. Liam shook his head. "Or maybe how something new begins." Outside, the stars seemed to pulse, as if the universe itself was breathing with them. The black hole wasn't just destroying, it was transforming. Scientists call this process spaghettification, when gravity pulls matter into thin strands before swallowing it completely. The term sounded almost funny, but the reality was terrifying. Sarah looked into the darkness and felt a strange connection, as if the black hole wasn't a monster but a teacher, showing the fragile balance between life and oblivion. She whispered, "Maybe black holes are not just endings but bridges to new worlds." Liam smiled. "That's what Einstein thought too." The air grew heavy, filled with silence and wonder. Their journey had just begun, and the answers were buried deeper within the cosmic storm. Sarah turned to the camera again, her voice soft but certain. "If this mystery grips your heart like it grips ours," she said, "hit subscribe and stay with us. Because next, we're diving inside, where time and space are no longer what you think they are." Her words hung in the air as the screen faded to black, leaving the audience with one burning thought. What lies beyond the edge of no return? What would you see if you fell inside a black hole? Sarah and Liam had asked themselves that question countless times. Now, as their virtual simulation loaded, it felt as if the question was finally becoming real. The lab lights dimmed. The holographic display came alive, a swirling vortex of light and darkness. The event horizon appeared before them, massive and silent, like the open mouth of eternity. "We're crossing it," whispered Sarah. Her voice trembled. "No turning back." As they passed the invisible boundary, the world outside seemed to freeze. Stars stretched into lines of light. Time itself began to slow. Liam explained softly, "For us, seconds are passing. But out there, millions of years could be flying by." The simulation captured every particle, every shimmer of distorted light. Space curved like a wave, folding and twisting. Gravity grew so intense that it started bending their perception. "Look," Sarah said, her eyes wide. "It's like the universe is wrapping around us." Then came silence, deep, heavy, infinite silence. They had entered the singularity's domain. Nothing could escape here, not even light. The place was not just dark, it was beyond darkness. "This is what it feels like to exist outside time," Liam murmured. "Everything that ever happened, and everything that ever will, is all here, crushed into one single point." Sarah tried to imagine it, all of history, every star, every life, compressed into a dot smaller than an atom. It was terrifying, yet breathtaking. "So," she asked, "does that mean we're gone?" Liam smiled faintly. "Or maybe we've become part of something bigger. Some scientists believe that inside there could be another universe forming, a new Big Bang born from an old collapse." Sarah's heart raced. "So every black hole could be a doorway to a new universe?" Liam nodded. "That's one of the great cosmic theories, that our own universe might have been born from a black hole in another." The thought sent chills through her body. Inside the endless void, she no longer felt fear, only awe. The idea that destruction could lead to creation changed everything. The black hole wasn't just a monster, it was a creator, a cosmic rebirth machine. As the simulation neared its end, the visuals began to fade. Sarah's voice echoed softly. "We came here seeking answers about death, but maybe we found something closer to life." She turned toward the audience, eyes reflecting the faint blue glow of distant stars. "If this journey makes you see the universe differently," she said gently, "please subscribe and join us. Because next, we'll explore the most haunting question of all: what happens to the information that falls into a black hole?" As the screen darkened, a faint hum echoed, the heartbeat of the universe itself, as if the abyss was whispering back, "You're not done yet." "What happens to everything that falls into a black hole?" Sarah asked, her voice echoing through the quiet lab. "Does it just disappear?" Liam looked at the dark hologram spinning before them, a black sphere surrounded by a glowing ring of light. "That," he said, "is the most haunting question in all of physics." For centuries, scientists believed that when something fell into a black hole, a planet, a star, or even a photon of light, it was gone forever, crushed into nothingness. But something about that idea didn't sit right. Because in the universe, information, the basic code of everything, is never truly destroyed. It only changes form. If a black hole erases information, Liam continued, then the laws of physics break, and the universe doesn't like broken laws. Sarah leaned closer to the glowing event horizon on screen. "So what happens to it?" she whispered. Liam smiled faintly. "That's what Stephen Hawking tried to answer." He explained how, in 1974, Hawking made a stunning discovery. Black holes aren't completely black. They emit faint radiation, now called Hawking radiation. This meant black holes could slowly lose energy and eventually evaporate. But that led to a terrifying thought. If a black hole disappears, what happens to all the information it's swallowed? The lab fell silent. Sarah imagined entire galaxies collapsing, histories vanishing into cosmic oblivion. "It's like burning a book," she said. "You can't read it anymore, but the ashes and smoke still carry traces of it." Liam nodded. "Exactly. That's the paradox. Does the black hole keep the story of everything it eats, or erase it forever?" Years passed, theories evolved. Some scientists believed that information is stored on the black hole's surface, a thin, glowing boundary called the event horizon, where every detail is preserved like a hologram. Others argued that the information escapes in Hawking radiation, scattered as whispers of quantum energy. But, Liam said softly, no one truly knows. Not yet. Sarah stared at the simulated event horizon. The light flickered like a heartbeat. So maybe, she said slowly, the black hole isn't destroying information, it's rewriting it. Her voice trembled. Maybe it's like death itself, not the end, but a transformation. Liam looked at her and smiled. That's what makes science beautiful. It reminds us that mystery isn't a wall, it's a doorway. As the hologram dimmed, Sarah turned to the audience once more. If this story made you think about life, time, and the universe, she said gently, then be part of our cosmic family. Subscribe now, because next we'll explore something even stranger. What if black holes are gateways to other dimensions? The screen faded to black. A soft hum returned, like the echo of a heartbeat. The voice of the cosmos seemed to whisper, nothing is ever truly lost. What if, Sarah whispered, a black hole isn't an end, but a beginning? Liam turned from the glowing monitors. His eyes reflected the light of the simulated singularity spinning on the lab screen. That, he said slowly, is the question that haunts every scientist who's ever stared into the dark. For years, they had studied how black holes devour stars, bend time, and hide secrets beyond the event horizon. But now, Sarah wanted to know what happens after. Could something exist on the other side? Could there be another universe, one born from the death of a star? Liam pulled up an image, a digital recreation of the Milky Way's central black hole. Some physicists believe that what falls into a black hole might emerge elsewhere, he explained. Through something we call a wormhole, a bridge through space-time. He paused. It's like folding the universe in half so two distant points touch. Sarah's eyes widened. So, you're saying a black hole could be a doorway? Maybe, Liam said. Or maybe it's a mirror, reflecting what we don't yet understand. As the hologram shifted, the simulation zoomed in toward the black hole's core, the singularity. The light twisted, time slowed, and the stars themselves seemed to stretch into ribbons of color. If anyone could travel through, Liam said softly, they'd see the universe in reverse. Time running backward, light bending into echoes, matter unmaking itself. Sarah stared into the dark center, her heart pounding. And what if someone survived the fall? Liam smiled faintly. Then maybe, he said, they'd find themselves in another universe, one born from this one's ashes. Some call it a white hole, a place where nothing enters, but everything escapes. The opposite of a black hole. The room filled with the soft hum of the machines, like a heartbeat echoing through eternity. Maybe every black hole is a seed, Sarah whispered, and when it collapses, it plants a new universe. Liam nodded. That's one of the most beautiful ideas in modern cosmology, that every death gives birth to something new. She looked up at the glowing horizon. So maybe, she said, somewhere out there, another Sarah and Liam are asking the same question. He smiled. That's the wonder of it. We're part of something bigger, a story written in light and gravity. The simulation flickered, and for a brief moment, the screen showed a swirl of galaxies connected by golden threads. The universe, Liam said quietly, is not a machine. It's a mystery, and every question we ask brings us closer to its heart. Sarah turned to the camera, her voice soft but steady. If you've traveled this far with us, she said, you're not just watching, you're exploring. Subscribe now and join our journey through the stars, because the next mystery waiting for us might be the one that explains everything. The screen slowly faded to black, leaving only the faint sound of a cosmic hum like a heartbeat across the void. A final line appeared. The universe is not silent. It speaks to those who dare to listen.